Hello, wonderful people. Today is May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And yes, I'm wearing a shirt that has Darth Vader playing with cats. Today, we are finishing off our voice and speech unit. So, attached to this post, you will see some instructions and some examples of one of the projects you can do. So, underneath, for assignments, there are two options. You only have to do one, okay? So there's two projects posted, one called a soundscape assignment, the other is a radio commercial. You pick one of those, you work on and submit one. Now, if you want to do both, by all means do so. You'll have some fun. So if you decide to do the soundscape assignment, there are some examples of some soundscapes that students have submitted in the past attached to this post. So have a listen to those. I unfortunately don't have any examples of the radio commercial. I used to, but they were on my previous computer and I didn't have them saved to my drive. So unfortunately they are now gone. But the instructions are pretty straightforward. So a soundscape. A soundscape is something that a theater company or a show would use to help create atmosphere. So for example, if you're setting up a show, like the show that Pioneer Productions did last year, which was Subway Circus, we were on a subway for the entirety of the show. So we had a soundscape in the background that sounded like a subway train, so that the audience knows where you are and what's going on. If you were in a park, you could have a soundscape playing that had, say, birds, wind, people talking or walking past, maybe hearing a bicycle going past. A soundscape creates an atmosphere through sound. So why is this attached to the speech unit, speech and voice? It's because you can use your voice to make sounds. So this is where this gets fun and interesting. You're going to use, if you're doing the soundscape assignment, one recorded sound, your voice, and then objects or instruments to make the sounds that you're creating. So one of the examples, for example, is a rainforest soundscape. That rainforest soundscape, the recorded sound they used was the rain. They had that playing on someone's cell phone. And then all the people in the group, using their voices, made every other sound. So they actually didn't use any instruments in theirs. Theirs was just their voices and one recorded sound. And they recorded it in the stairwell that goes to the math wing. So that's why you hear this echo. So think about where you're recording it as well. So for example, if you wanted to record something that was outside that required wind, record it outside so you can actually hear the real wind and use that. Get creative. The reason why I posted this particular assignment today, actually, it has a little bit of connection to Star Wars. The sound designer for the original Star Wars film had to be very creative and come up with different sounds for the droids, for all of the different flying crafts and everything, and of course the lightsabers. None of these things were things that already existed, so he had to come up with them on his own. And the lightsaber sound was actually created kind of by fluke. Some of you may be familiar with this already, some maybe not. With using interference in front of, I believe, a radio. If I'm not mistaken, is either a radio or a TV. I can't remember. But it was before the days of cable television. So TVs had antennas just like radios do. And whenever something metal comes in the field of the antenna of a television, old television or a radio, It creates interference and makes a sound. Uh, and that's how we ended up finding the perfect sound for the lightsaber, the zhoo sound, was putting, I believe it was like a metal rod and waving it back and forth. It was either in front of a television or a radio, I can't remember. One of those movie fun facts. So you never know what you could create with sound. And also with the sound of your voice. So if you're doing a rainforest, you might have animal noises. If you're doing a party, which I have that as an example as well, you have people talking, people walking in or walking out. A lot of fun things that you can create with your voice, with objects, and then one recorded sound. So you might be asking, well, how do I record this? How do I submit it? There's a number of ways you can do it. You could use some kind of an editor app like GarageBand or iMovie or something if you have access to that. If you don't, I've had so many people in the past few years just do it this way. They put on video like I'm using right now on my cell phone to make an MP4 file, flip the phone down onto a table so all you see is black, and they just do it and record it live. That's probably the easiest way to do it. The only difference is if you're doing it live, you might have to do multiple takes because something mightn't go the way that you want it while you're recording it. If you have a video editor kind of app kind of thing, or an audio editor, then you get to get a bit fancy, but that's not required. Okay? So that's the first option. The second option is making a radio commercial. Similar, except you are going to write a script that you're trying to sell something or have some kind of an event that you're promoting. And then you can have sound effects or music in the background. It's recorded the same way, either with, say, a GarageBand or some kind of editor app, or same thing, you can just record it live. Either or, doesn't matter. So either you do a soundscape or you do a radio commercial. With both options, you still have to write a script, which comes in under writing as where we assess different things. And then you have what you actually record and submit as well, which comes under creating, making, presenting category. So when you decide what you want, if you need some help, send me a message. You can email or comment below on the classroom. Comment below this post or on the assignment, and I can assist you wherever possible and have some fun with it. So that's going to be what we have for the next 2 weeks, because remembering I'm posting things every 2 weeks for this class because there's not as much that we can do, unfortunately. Like I've said before, it's not like some of our other classes where we can do most everything online. You can't with Java. But this is one of those assignments that you can do and submit to me. I'd love to be able to hear what you come up with. It'd be so totally cool. And I hope you're well. I hope you're doing okay. Make sure to get outside, still do that like Fitness Friday kind of stuff. Keep your mental health first place and your physical health first place. Okay? Be safe. Chat soon.